I'm Tim Bent. I'm the Artistic Director of Lost Station Theater, and I'd like to welcome you back to another installment of Mishaps with Maura. If you actually saw the first installment of this series, you may have thought that we had exhausted perhaps the possibilities of these stories, but there are, in fact, many, many more.
So Death Trap, we had an audience member who, the actor on stage, thought that this audience member was having a heart attack. So they actually stopped the show and kind of called for the lights to come up. And it's interesting because that show is so much about shock and things happening. At first, the audience thought this was part of the show.
Sure, yeah.
So an ambulance was called, and the audience was asked to move out to the lobby area. So I was backstage, and I actually was ready to go on for my next scene. She was like the psychic in the show. So I was dressed as her, and so initially I came out into the audience and in the lobby and tried to sort of, and was in character and was talking to them like this character and calming them down and telling them we could get you some water and everything will be fine, and then we're going to go back and we're going to do the show again. Sounds a lot like Dr. Ruth.
You may have had a similar accent.
Similar accent, German accent, and but also I went in to check on the patron who was having a problem because I'm a nurse as well as being an actor, and so. But we were fortunate to have the fire department literally right next to the theater, and so they came over quite quickly and were able to assist the man, who was okay, and but they did take him out to get checked at the hospital, and so the audience was brought back in and we resumed the show. But it was pretty crazy because I was out there playing, the character and just improvising with the audience, and it was a pretty warm night, and so I was asking if anybody needed water, does anybody need to sit down, and it's all going to be okay, and everybody's so good, and then we'll go back and we'll do the show, it'll be wonderful. So that was Death Trap.
Yeah. If the script falls apart, you have to start improvising. And it's just what you do.
Well, in the vagina monologues that I did, I would often start in the audience. That was my first position, was in the audience. So I would actually come in with the audience as an audience member, and I often had people talk to me who knew me, and then they would say, "Oh, I thought you were in the show." And I would lie and say, "Oh no, I got hurt or I got sick," and so but it was too late to redo the brochure, so my name's in there, but I'm not in it. So I just came to see it and support it. And so then I would, because it was supposed to be a surprise, and I didn't want to wreck the surprise, because I would sort of open the show in the dark with a spotlight yelling vagina. So I didn't want to kind of give that away. Yeah. So I would just make up like that I had been replaced. Uh-huh. So.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know you did that.
Yeah.
I guess if you had to, right? Yeah.
Well, you didn't want to break the character. I didn't want to ruin it for people. So many shows, so many mishaps.